So, and then did you want to talk a little bit about the numbers you got so far this year? Bring everybody up to speed.
Oh yeah, yeah. So let's see. This is January's numbers, not February's numbers. So in the Comfort Consult suite that I sold in January, what we netted from that was $22.65. That's just the fee that we charged to go out there and do that, and that was 8-9 of those. Then we had what I sold from Comfort Consults, not free calls, but Comfort Consults. This is really awesome. Is $129,000. If you add those two together, that's $131,000 or $21,913 average ticket. And
that
I closed.
Doesn't suck.
Yeah, that doesn't suck at all. And I closed 6 out of 9, 66%.
Wow.
And then on the free calls, it was 55,895. 5 of 10 of those closed, and it was 11,179. So I think it's cut and dry. I think it's cut and dry evidence. It's almost 3 times difference with actually having more calls on the closed side, on the free side, than on the paid side. That's pretty substantial, if you ask me.
Yeah. That's probably good info, I'd say, for Mark and Dirk over there. I imagine that's probably those are some good numbers to think about, and just kind of as they were talking about earlier. I don't know if you were here, Reedie, or not, but on trying to qualify people as quickly as possible, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. You think about this, and if you wanted to think about this in the way that you're not getting paid to do a free call, or you're getting paid to do a Comfort Consult, the way that the owner of the company could think about this is eventually it's going to get to the cost of a unit that you're netting for doing nothing but sending a guy out there and having him spend a couple hours doing the blower door and doing a little consulting. That if you do it the freeway, you're going to have a lot of aggravation and irritation, not get paid nothing, and people are going to be calling you back trying to blame you for everything. But
yeah, because we're 20. Getting rid of the freeway does, depending on the business model, it does blow things up a little bit. So that's a little harder to. In your scenario, it may be a little bit easier for someone to, cut their losses on the free stuff. But even at, 50% closing ratio isn't bad, and $12,000 average ticket on the free stuff is also not horrible, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it does make it a little trickier on blowing up other people's business models to just get rid of free quotes. Or maybe I was misunderstanding what you were saying.
Yeah, I'm not
but
saying
I think
that.
Reedie's basically, I think, saying that if you get pipelines that provide enough paid leads, then you can get rid of the people that want you to come out for free. And so it all comes down to whether or not you're able to get a pipeline that does that. We may also see people playing around with putting the junior people into the free.
Yeah.
Here's a free lead. You go see what you can make of it. And
that's what.
And then you have the good guys going out and doing the consults, because Reedie's going to take a consult and turn it into $22,000. I don't want to waste him on these free leads. Mm-hmm. And the guy that's learning isn't going to be able to turn a Comfort Consult into $22,000 on average. you might get 15. So I'd rather let those guys cut their teeth on these leads that suck.
And they're good Sandler experience, right? Like their
free
leads are good experience for.
They're great
people.
practice. That's right.
Low risk, you know. I mean,
yeah.
So Reedie, we don't know each other, Mark, by the way. Nice to meet you. So what is the percentage on there as far as margin? Do you see a difference in margin between the two?
I don't know. I'm not the owner of the company, so I don't know that. But I can tell you that every one of these were green speeds that I sold, with the exception of one, and that was I sold three mini split cassettes and a dehumidifier.
Yeah, margins can sometimes be hard to, because a lot of companies will operate off the same or similar margin, but a higher dollar project will net you more dollars, right? Mm-hmm. So it kind of depends on how you look at it, kind of deal. I would assume the way, just from hearing the way Reedie's company works and, you know, a little just reading between the lines of the way the ownership is, it's likely the same margin whether they're doing the free or not, but it is a higher revenue.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, and then the other thing is,
right.
And then Reedie, would you say that there's less use of warranty reserve? So not only are you getting a much higher gross, probably a much higher net, and less sort of hidden cost associated with it, or not so hidden.
Yeah, less people saying, "Oh, this thing, my heat pump's running too long."
Yeah, right. Yeah. The only we had one weird complaint this year, and it was not really a complaint. It was just, I think, confusion, because they said my heat strips aren't running long enough. You know, and what they based that off of was they saw the red light on that, or the blue light on that Goodman thermostat, you know, that when you slide it, it comes on, and they didn't see that. But that was the only weird complaint that we've had all year long. Of course, it's all winter long about that. Other than that, no, we haven't had a lot of warranty calls on this kind of stuff for one reason or another. Not at all.
Mark, is that helpful to understand? So you don't get callbacks coming out of this?
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm definitely. I like the way that he presents himself. So you can, if you need a job, Reedie, come over here. So no, I definitely appreciate what he's saying. You know, margin is important, right? And I'll give up some margin for the business. Like zero is zero, right? You want to get a job. We also don't want to spend, have that trouble customer that also asks you back 16 times and we didn't even make any money on them, right? So I'm all in for the paid
and that's,
situation.
A good thing with the 2.0 process is that if it's followed and the reporting and all that stuff, is you do a good job of setting expectations that a lot of that stuff doesn't come back, or if it does come back, it turns into something else that that you're paid for. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm bought in. I'm now 25 years into the Sandler process. Ted and I've had a pretty good discussion about that. And what I love about this so far, with everything that Dirk has told me and everything, and I'm going to be here. I'm going to live through this. Is it's easy for me, and I'm not the best salesman. I think I'm really good, but I'm not the best. I hear some things tonight that I need to implement. But Dirk and then all the people that are going to come in after Dirk, we want to make sure that we're all doing the same thing, because I want them to make money too. If Dirk's happy and he's making a living for his family, then my company's going to thrive. Yeah. So I'm totally involved listening to stories like what Reedie was saying, just watching him smile and get excited about the sale and the numbers he can provide. I love it. I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
Because he's happy.
It would have been even better if you'd have seen him 6 months ago.
Sure.
Well, I love the fact that you think of your employees as clients. And I think Reedie's employer is beginning to see that. Finally.
Yeah, he's at a little
She's
bit
probably
of a
freaked
long
out by those
road.
numbers, right?
Yeah.
What did she say?
Well, when I showed it to her, at the end of the month, I said, I told you, we're gonna do stuff that's gonna be different. It wasn't a fluke, because she kind of thought it was a fluke last year, and she just redid her house, and she told me she was gonna put my picture on her thermostat. She's very excited about it.
That's awesome, man. That really is.
Yeah. I'm glad to be a part of HVAC 2.0. I knew that there was a way to get all this blame and crap off of me and make some money and feel good about it, and I'm thankful to be a part of it. That's
wow.
Yeah. I mean, I got 10 kids.
We're grateful to have you, for sure.
Yes, we are, Reedie.
You know what I mean?
Holy cow, you're gonna run in for Brian Orr.
Yeah. So I have to pay for all these kids. I need to be able to pay for them. But well, if there's no other questions for me, I'm out of here. I gotta get.
Thank you for staying late, Reedie. That's really
45 minutes
appreciate it.
late, man.
I know. Thank you, guys. We'll see you next week.
See you,
Nice to
Reedie.
meet you, sir.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Michael's up next with his debrief from today, and then I don't care what order we go in.
Yeah.
Nate can take over or whoever.
Mine will be pretty